Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for Master Division with the tournament win here for the Night Sky tournament in Golf Clash the game. Video sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. And before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also visit golfclashtommy.com for more Golf Clash related content for free. Last but not least, get the best guides on the market by going to patreon.com/golfclashtommy. Link directly in the description down below. Can we get this video up to 300 thumbs up? That would be amazing and I would be very thankful for that. Make sure you follow the info box on the right hand side to get the club distance and elevation adjustment combined with what ball and club type I do suggest you to play with. Have in mind that you don't need to follow my suggestions, but there is always a plan behind it. And in the end though, if you do have questions, you can always comment in the comment section below, or you do send an email to support@golfclashtommy.com. Thank you once again for watching, and let's go to hole number 1. For hole number 1, we're gonna start by playing with our Apocalypse, and I'm going to use a turkey ball which has power 2, side spin 1, wind 5, 6.5 bar top spin, 1 bar side spin to the right. Now I'm looking to be in absolute maximum distance with the red ring by the rough line. Adjustment is going to be maximum distance, no elevation, but with power 3 ball setting. So even if we play power 2 ball, we're gonna have power 3 ball numbers that we're going to adjust from. 1 ball of curl to the right, and then we're looking to hit. Perfect. Perfect ball, and we bounce on the fairway, and now we are not looking to get a glitch roll here. If we do get a glitch roll, the rough bump will be much harder. We get into 388, we take a look at our table, and from 388 we are going to play with a 5% elevation, and we are going to play 34% slider. Add spin, which is going to be 1 right spin, 3.5 bar top spin, so the ball guideline is going approximately half a green square through the hole. Top of the yellow ring by the edge of the rough, as you can see there now. And then we are going to make our adjustment. So once again, from 388, I play 34% slider. And with the adjustment here, you can see I'm having a 7.5 ring adjustment. It looked like, at least. But in the end, we should be playing 34% slider. Perfect ball, which is important. We see all the feathers. It bounces into the rough, zooms in, and we get this ball to be on the right side of the cup. Need to add maybe a smidgen more there though, but that was a lovely one, and that's always a good thing to start with a drop. So there is plenty of different alternatives out there, and most of them are rough bumps. So I'm not going to give you a rough bump. I'm going to give you a shot from the fairway pad in absolute maximum distance. This will give you the possibility to hit great left and great right, and you will not risk going into the rough whatsoever. 1.5 backspin, 1 bar of right spin, leave the ball guideline to point towards the hole, okay? But it will then be short. Adjustment is going to be maximum distance plus 20 with a power 2 ball setting here, and then we're going to we're going to take our shot. As you could see here on the spin, I was a little bit low on my backspin, and I would really recommend you to go with more towards a 1.6 backspin than in that case a 1.4, if that makes sense. Hole in 1 though, and this is a shot that I've been dropping a couple of times. In a worst case scenario, I'm just burning the edge, and I do feel that when you cannot hit great left and great right with the rough bump, it's going to be a risky shot, especially when the rough bump is not going to be a 100%er even if you hit perfect. So this is a very interesting alternative to bring with you all going into the tournament. So absolute maximum distance, and then add spin, and then focus on the ball guideline. That is what you're gonna do. So Aurora ball, which is a wind 5 power 2. You can use whatever wind 5 power 2 that you have. A side spin only needs side spin 1, but there isn't any other ball with wind 5 power 2 side spin 0. So whatever wind 5 power 2 ball you have in your bag is going to be good. For hole number 3, I'm going to play a very simple drive. I'm looking to get into a position where I can go for the rough bump for the second shot. So we're going to start off here by using the Cataclysm as the wood club. Very important that you do have that one packed. And now I'm using 3 bars of side spin to the right, and I will end up going with 5 bars of top spin. Now looking at the 4th ring to be just by the rough to the right. And the adjustment for us here is going to be maximum distance plus 10. So we do adjust the maximum distance plus 10, and then it's time to take our shot. We're not going to use any curl here whatsoever. We're just going to take a regular shot and trying to get this ball up to approximately 370 yards. Bounces nicely on the fairway, and you can see here a couple of dead bounces, and we'll land this one nicely into a yardage of 370. Second shot is going to be played with a wood club, and here I'm going to play with 8 bars of top spin, 2 bars of side spin to the left. But look at the ball guideline. I'm looking to have the ball guideline going through the hole approximately 3 green squares. Adjustment here is not going to be max plus 0, but it's the closest we can get. We're going to play this one 80% slider, no elevation when it comes from 370. I'm also using a slight 1201 pull angle, this to compensate for the loss of distance getting when going down into the bunker. And here in the end it's obviously very important to hit perfect, otherwise you are not going to be getting this one close. This one has been a good one to me. I've dropped this one a couple of times now already. Sure, it comes in a little bit hot, but I'd rather take it comes a little bit hot than I go short in line. Once again though, nice shot here from 370 yards. You play 80% slider, no elevation. For hole number 4, we're going to attempt a rough bump here, and we're going to play with a Wind 5 Power 1 side spin 3. 1 bar top spin, 3 bars of left spin. We're looking to have the bottom left of the yellow ring by the sand, with approximately 1/3 of the red ring inside the rough and the rest outside. But most importantly, ball guideline to the hole. Okay. Now, once we have done that adjustment, we're gonna push up 1 ring. So we do push up 1 ring. And once we have done that, we are going to adjust for a 1-1 with an 1159, slight 1159 pull angle. So 1-1 means that we take the wind, that is 8.2, and we then adjust for an 8.2 miles per hour, which is the same as maximum distance plus 5 power 2 ball. To just give you that as an adjustment as well. Get in the hole. For hole number 5, I do decide to play with a new Spartan ball, which is a Power 4 Wind 5. If you don't have any Power 4 Wind 5 ball, which there is only one in the game, which is then understandable, then you play with a Power 4 Wind 4, and as in a worst case scenario, Power 4 Wind 3. The thing to have in mind though is that if you play with a Power 4 Wind 5 and play with an Apocalypse level 7 or level 8, you should not go with any overpower with this shot. If you do play with an Apocalypse 5 or 6, you need to apply overpower as you have less topspin. If you play with a Wind 4 Power 4 ball, I would recommend you to use at least 1 ring of overpower when it comes to even with Apocalypse 7 or 8. Have in mind that you cannot go with too much overpower, but you can definitely go with too little. If you play with Power 4 Wind 3, you definitely need to get up to 3-4 rings of overpower to make sure you get the distance enough. We're looking to get to a distance that is 360 yards or more. Now, the second shot, pack the Grizzly, this to be able to rest on the minimum distance line. You cannot really see it here in the replay, but you need to be in absolute minimum distance here with your sniper. That is what you do want, at least. 1 bar of backspin, and the spin here is going to vary depending on how far you are from minimum distance. So it could be sometimes 1 bar of topspin, it could be sometimes 3 bars of backspin. The important part though, leave the ball guideline to be 1 green square through the hole. Adjustment is gonna be minimum distance minus 5%, power 3 ball, not power 4 ball, power 3 ball, and you are going to flicker 1159, so favor 1159. I do have too much 1159 here, which in this case makes my ball to still drop, but it does go with a 360 in the hole, so really a little bit on the margin there. This is a good shot. This has been dropping for me every time with a perfect so far, but again, as always with wood close in Master, tough to hit perfect all the time, but also it is difficult to get this one to drop all the time, so it is a tough win, but good chance. For hole number 6, we're going to make it as easy as possible for ourselves. We're going to use the top of the white ring to be by the rough line with an Apocalypse level 8. If you do have an Apocalypse level 5 or level 6, you're going to go half of the white ring inside the rough. Max top spin, 2 bars of side spin to the right. And I'm looking to have the ball guideline to be approximately 1 ring from the rough on the right. The thing that I do here is that I do adjust for maximum distance with no elevation for this shot, but I would recommend you to add an extra 10%. That will prevent you from, with a great left, going into the rough on the left. So maximum distance plus 10 is what we're looking for to add here. The plan is to get the ball as far down as possible, and as you can see, I do play with a kingmaker, as I do not believe that we need anything else when it comes to this shot here, because I actually don't go for an albatross here. Sure, it would be fun to get one, but I'm looking to get this ball just to green or to fringe before and not go too long. I accidentally went too long when I streamed it yesterday, so obviously we need to really think about when it comes to the topspin here. Now I'm using a lot of topspin, and you will need to be careful. I would recommend you to go with 6.5 to 7 bars of topspin as maximum, and only 1 ball of curl. It's not important to push it as hard as we are doing here. You see how close we're getting. Sure, we're getting right in line towards the pin, but there is no need to push it that hard. We just need to secure the freaking eagle and be done with it. Use the horizon if you do not possess an cataclysm to make sure you always have the topspin for the second shot. For hole number 7, we're gonna start with a power 4 ball. It does not show here on this replay, but we start in absolute minimum distance with a power 4 ball. 5.5 bar backspin, 1 bar of side spin to the left. Now we're going to have the ball guideline to point just left side of the pin. And once we have done that, then we do change to a win 5 power 1 ball. Make sure to not change to a power 2 ball like I'm doing here, because the thing that we noticed is if you do play with a power 2 ball in win that is 7.8 or higher, then you will go in between clubs and you're going to have to, in that case, go with underpower, and that's never something that we do want to do. Minimum distance, minus 5%, power 1 ball setting, and perfect ball, and we're gonna see this ball drop into the rough, and we like that roll and getting it right at pin for a lovely hole-in-one here on hole number 7. For hole number 8, we're going to attempt to go over on the left-hand side. Here, this drive is going to make it over, but we definitely need to make some tweaks to this one here. First and foremost, you can see that I'm using max topspin here and 2 bars of left spin. I would recommend you to play with 7.5 bar topspin instead of the 8 bars. And the reason for that is that we do not want to go too long. If we go too long, we will bounce over the rough, and then we will go into the rough on the back instead. So we do want to have the second bounce into the rough and then roll out. Adjustment max plus 10, and you can see there that I did leave approximately 1 ring from the rough line and I went with approximately 1.5 ball curl. So we do need to come a little bit more to the left, and as you can see, we went long and actually a bit lucky to bounce into the rough and roll out. So the thing that I would like you to do is to go with a little bit more curl and also move your position so you do have half, or like the inner ring to the left by the rough to the left with a POC 7 and a POC 8. With a POC 5 and a POC 6, you will go with the bullseye just by the rough. You don't have to be afraid of having the ball into the rough, as when we're using max overpower, the ball will carry further, and therefore we don't have to be afraid about that. Second shot is gonna be with the thorn. Very important to check club distance here, especially if you do have a bad grate or something like that, that you are, you know, way left or way right on the fairway. I'm using top of the red ring by the fringe, ball guideline to the hole. Adjustment is what I'm doing here, very close to medium distance, no elevation. I'm playing this one 5 rings for an 11.7 miles per hour. So I adjust the 5 rings and then it's time to take my shot. Every time we do get into a situation like this with a short iron towards the pin, it is however very important that we do drop it. Because in Master you don't really have any room to just go and miss shots like this. Like we did get this one to drop on the right side of the pin, so maybe a decimal less there in terms of adjustment. So what would we say? 42% slider, think would be really good here. No elevation, once again, play with a power 4 ball. Tough drive, but if we do make the drive correct, super good chance for an eagle. For hole number 9, we're gonna use a full top spin on whatever Apocalypse we're playing with. 2 bars of side spin to the left, stretch out your club to max and have the blue ring to the left by the rough line. If you do play Apocalypse 5 or 6, half of the blue ring inside the rough to the left. Adjustment is then going to be maximum distance and no elevation. Then we push up to max. Once we're push up to max, we're not going to go with any overpower if we do have Apocalypse 7 or 8. If we do play with Apocalypse level 6, 2 rings of overpower, Apocalypse level 5, 4 rings of overpower. Great left and perfect will be safe here, meaning that you will get the ball to fairway. If you do hit a great right, you do have a risk of having the ball roll into the rough. So I would recommend you to pack the Amazon as a rough iron, just for safety, so you don't have to go with a maxed distance, like a max overpower Nirvana towards the green area for your second shot. Second shot, 4 backspin, 2 left spin. We are looking to have the red ring to be just a little gap from the red ring to the rough, with ball guideline going just slightly through the hole. We're gonna play this shot very close to maximum distance, minus 25. It's gonna be somewhere between 85 to 100% on your slider. If you do adjust down into the bunker, make sure you add a tiny bit of overpower with your shot. This to compensate for the loss of distance that you're getting while going down into the sand. Unfortunately, I do hit a great right here with a perfect, as you will be able to see. It would have been very close to get that one to drop. So unfortunately, great right, and we land that one just right of pin. Good chance though for an albatross, but once again, you do need to hit a good drive to get a good chance. Thank you so much everybody for watching this playthrough for Master Division with the tournament win here for the Night Sky tournament in Golf Clash the game. The video here is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, and make sure if you do want to get the guides, then you go to patreon.com/golfclashtommy. Also, don't forget to hit thumbs up before you go. Once again, thank you for watching and good luck in your Golf Clash game.